I want to speak on something right quick. I ain't siding with GloRilla, I ain't siding with BroRilla. But I do want to say,
Boosie tried to step in and defend GloRilla and her family situation, right? He thought he was just sharing his thoughts about artist money and how things work. But GloRilla's sister went live and basically ended that man's whole career in real time.
Oh, jeez. I'm saying, though, y'all want the clout to die. Y'all gotta stop talking about me for it to die.
She didn't just clap back, fam. She straight up called Boosie Badazz washed, clowned him for popping up on Tubi movies, and joked that he's a 60-year-old man dressing like he's 15. What started as family drama instantly turned into full-blown war. And after what she said about Boosie, yeah, the streets are never letting this one go.
You think you finna catch Lil Durk on Love and Hip Hop? You think you finna catch Chris Brown on there? You think you even finna catch Fantasia on that motherfucker?
Let me break down how this whole thing really blew up, because what you saw online is just the surface. Trust me, this situation is way deeper than a couple clips and captions. So let's walk through the timeline, step by step. No cap. To understand how we got here, we gotta rewind back to early February 2026. GloRilla is riding high, Grammy-nominated charting records. Songs like Living Her Best Life on repeat everywhere. The Memphis rapper who supposedly made it out the struggle, or at least that's the story everybody's been sold. Because for a long time, GloRilla's brand has been built around her come-up, growing up broke in Memphis, the hardships, the family struggles, and beating the odds. It's a powerful narrative. But on February 4th, 2026, that whole image took a serious hit when someone from inside her own family decided to speak out. Her sister, Victoria Woods, known online as Scarface, jumped on Facebook Live with one clear goal: expose her famous sister for allegedly abandoning the family, and she did not come to play. This wasn't some vague subtweet or slick shade. She called GloRilla out by her government name, Gloria, and started listing specific claims that had the internet picking sides. Almost instantly, Scarface went straight for the jugular. She said, while GloRilla tells the world about their struggle and uses that pain for interviews, lyrics, and branding. Behind closed doors, she's allegedly doing nothing for the people who lived that struggle with her. According to Scarface, their mom is still working at FedEx, breaking her back in a warehouse, while her daughter is collecting million-dollar checks and living a luxury lifestyle. Let that sit for a second. Your sister is Grammy-nominated, performing on big stages, landing endorsement deals, and your mom is still clocking in at a warehouse. That kind of contrast makes people start questioning everything. But Scarface wasn't done. She claimed GloRilla bought their dad a Jaguar just for appearances, even though, in her words, he's broke and living in a roach-infested house. Her point? Glo is allegedly focused on looking generous for social media, instead of actually changing living conditions. In other words, flashy optics, not real support. Then came the most emotional part of the live. So you know how we struggled, you know how we got neglected, you know how we got mistreated, and you still don't reach back and do nothing for not one of us. You could hear the pain in her voice. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about feeling abandoned by someone who understands the struggle because she came from the same place. Scarface kept going. It's been for years. For years, my brother out here doing DoorDash. For years watching your sister become a star while you're still scrambling to survive. Your brother delivering food while she's getting six-figure performance checks. That hits different. But the line that really made people stop scrolling: you don't even do nothing for our autistic brother. That's when the internet locked in, because when you start talking about a disabled family member allegedly being left behind, people look at the situation completely differently. And that's the moment this went from messy family business to a full-blown public controversy. It's about taking care of family members who can't fully take care of themselves. The implication that GloRilla isn't helping a sibling with special needs, that's the kind of accusation that can seriously damage somebody's reputation. And once that hit the timeline, the streets picked sides immediately. Some folks said Scarface had a point. Like, if your sister really making millions, why the family still struggling? Why mama still working a regular job? Why brothers out here doing DoorDash? But others pushed back like, hold up, we don't actually know what's happening behind closed doors. Family situations be complicated. Maybe Glo offered help and they turned it down. Maybe she helps in ways we don't see. Maybe there's deep family dysfunction we'll never know about. Now, one thing about Glo, she wasn't letting that slide. Later, that same day, we talking hours, not days, she responded. But not with a long emotional video, not with a big explanation. She came with receipts. And in social media culture, receipts are everything. She posted a screenshot that looked like a message from her mother. And this is where it got messy. The message basically thanked GloRilla for her continued support and said she already does a lot for the family. In other words, Mama Woods was directly contradicting everything Scarface just said on Live. Now, you got a mom appearing to side with one daughter over another. And that's the kind of family split that can last years. The message suggested Glo has been helping consistently, that the support is ongoing, and that the family knows about it even if the public doesn't. But instead of clearing things up, it created a whole new problem. Now people asking, is Scarface lying? Is Mama lying to protect Glo's image? Or do different family members just have different definitions of what enough help looks like? Then the next day, February 5th, Glo added gasoline to the fire. She posted a link to Indeed on Facebook. If you know, you know. That's basically the ultimate silent She told her sister go get a job without typing a single word. Cold-blooded, no cap. Like I'm done explaining. Figure your life out. After that, she reshared a post from her older cousin, Lena Harris, who backed Glo all the way. Lena showed text messages that appeared to prove GloRilla regularly checks on the family, sends money for specific needs, and stays in contact even with her busy schedule. So now you got family members on both sides of this thing, and the internet in full detective mode trying to figure out who telling the truth. And this is where people started connecting dots. Because next up, Boosie Badazz enters the chat. On his own platform, Boosie decided to weigh in. And let's be real, Boosie always got an opinion. Whether it's Lil Nas, Xia Wade, R. Kelly, or any other controversial topic, Boosie gonna speak his mind. But what he said about the Glo situation, that's what lit the fuse. He started off sounding neutral. I ain't siding with Glo. I ain't siding with her sister. But I do want to say something. And that but is always dangerous. Because usually when somebody says they not taking sides, they about to lean a little. Boosie started breaking down artist money, and how most people don't understand it. He said folks assume rappers got way more money than they actually do. The perception versus reality of wealth in hip-hop is crazy. Every artist you think got 50 million ain't got 50 million. Every artist you think got 100 million ain't got 100 million. And he wasn't lying. Because when you hear about a $10 million deal, that doesn't mean $10 million hit somebody's bank account. That money gets split between labels, managers, lawyers, producers, then taxes take a huge bite. Then you got lifestyle costs, security, travel, and everything else that comes with fame. Then Boosie dropped the line that made people pause. You gotta understand, if we try to get everybody, we gonna be broke. If I get everybody, I'ma be broke. Straight up, if I got $1 million, 7 brothers and sisters, plus a mom and dad, and I give each of y'all 100,000, I'm broke. Simple math. But it's math a lot of people never really stop to think about. What Boosie Badazz was basically saying is this: even if you've got real money, trying to financially carry your entire extended family will drain you fast. And he doubled down. If I really look out the way y'all expect me to look out, it's gone. On the surface, Boosie was making a valid point about the financial reality of being a successful artist. The expectation that you're supposed to take care of siblings, parents, cousins, childhood friends, and people from the neighborhood can wipe you out no matter how much you make. He was also hinting that GloRilla might not actually have the kind of money people assume she has, that the pressure to support everybody isn't realistic or sustainable. But he added one more thing: we do gotta look out too. Meaning, artists do have some responsibility to help family, just not in a way that bankrupts them. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, Scarface did not take it that way. GloRilla's sister watched Boosie's video, and to her, that wasn't neutral at all. In her eyes, he was making excuses for Glo, and she wasn't about to let a rapper from Louisiana tell her what her sister can or can't afford to do. So she went live again. And fam, this wasn't just a response, this was a declaration of war. Y'all want the clout to die? Then stop talking about me. She came in hot, and honestly, she had a point. People kept calling her a clout chaser, but at the same time, they kept reposting her, reacting to her, and making her trend. Then she started naming names. First, she went at the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne Thagaj said they posted Glo's side, including their mama's message, but didn't show Scarface's receipts with the same energy. Y'all got a big platform. Hell yeah, I got a problem with y'all. She was basically accusing media outlets of shaping the narrative by choosing which evidence gets spotlighted, and that's real. Because what you choose to show and what you leave out controls public opinion. But then she turned her attention back to Boosie, and you got Boosie talking about I ain't on nobody's side. But nah, you are taking sides. You basically saying she ain't got no money, so she ain't trying to give us nothing. You justifying her? Let me translate that. Scarface is saying Boosie's financial reality explanation equals an excuse for Glo not helping, and she wasn't accepting that. To her, it didn't matter if Glo had 100 million or 1 million. She should still be doing more. Then she went straight for the jugular. I don't give a F asterisk 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 about his fan base. This N asterisk 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 owned 2 movies. Guess what? He fell off. That's a brutal diss. She basically saying if your movies are on Tubi instead of theaters or Netflix, you're not really winning like that. But she kept going. It's always the old raccoonus tight fades an asterisk 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 s. I wanna come for me. Then she escalated it to culture war territory. She brought up Boosie. Long history of going at Lil Nas X and making homophobic comments. You always talking about a gay dude, but you promote guns, weed, and all kinds of You, a hypocrite. That's a heavy accusation. She was basically saying, you worried about kids seeing gay people, but not worried about kids hearing murder, drugs, and violence in your music. Make it make sense. This clip went crazy because now it wasn't just about family drama, it became about Boosie's character, his past controversies, and the double standards in hip-hop culture. Rappers can talk about killing, selling drugs, and degrading women all day, but the moment somebody is openly gay, now, it's think about the kids. Scarface wasn't letting that slide. Then she admitted something important. She already didn't like Boosie before he ever spoke on her family. Ever. Since he did that with Nas X toward the gay community, I ain't like him. She even admitted Boosie didn't say anything that crazy about the GloRilla situation, but because she already had an issue with him, he wasn't getting a pass. You can't even sneeze toward this situation, and I must say something too. That's real internet politics. Sometimes the main issue is just a vehicle for deeper beef. And to close it out, she clowned his age and his style. You almost 60 years old and still dressing like you 15, and that line right there. She was clowning the way older rappers sometimes try to dress young just to stay relevant. Now, to be fair, Boosie Badazz is in his 40s, not 60. But her point was clear, he's too old to be inserting himself into her family business. Then she really twisted the knife. Why the F? He on Tubi movies now. Why the F? He on Tubi movies. This N ain't on Paramount. That's straight disrespect. She was basically saying his career has declined to the point where his films are landing on Tubi instead of major platforms like Paramount. And in her mind, that equals washed up, desperate, and trying to stay relevant by commenting on trending situations. But the street's been whispering about this for months, and the deeper you dig, the more interesting it gets. After Scarface's response, the internet exploded. Social media split into two main camps. Team GloRilla said Scarface was being ungrateful and airing private family business for attention. They pointed to Glo's receipts and said it's clear she's been helping. Team Scarface said Glo should be doing more, and that going public was the only way to get her sister's attention since private conversations clearly weren't working. Meanwhile, The Breakfast Club and other outlets started covering the back and forth between Scarface and Boosie, which is exactly what Scarface said she didn't want, but also exactly what she knew was going to happen. She called out the hypocrisy. Y'all want the clout to die? Stop mentioning me. But media thrives on conflict, so of course, they kept mentioning her. Scarface also addressed people saying, she was suddenly getting bookings because of the drama. If somebody call me and ask, I'm not calling folks like book me. They in my inbox. Her point? Opportunities came to her, she didn't chase them, and she's not about to turn down money. She also made it clear, she's not sparing anybody. If I didn't spare my own blood sister, would I look like sparing y'all? That's somebody who's ready for smoke with anybody, celebrity or not. Now let me zoom out for a second because this situation is bigger than just one family beef. First, there's the age-old question in hip-hop, when you make it out, how much do you really owe your family? On one side, you got the lift as you climb mentality. When you win, you bring everybody with you. That's cultural, that's generational, that's real. On the other side, constantly bailing out family can turn into enabling and stop people from building their own independence. Second, we gotta talk about the media's role. These platforms profit off family dysfunction, while the families themselves deal with the long-term emotional damage. Third, Scarface touched on something deeper, the selective morality in hip-hop. Violence, drugs, and degradation get a pass. But certain types of representation, suddenly everybody concerned about the kids. That double standard is real. This situation is far from over. We might see Boosie respond. Other artists might jump in. More family dirt could come out. But one thing is already clear. This exposed how messy fame, family, money, and culture really are. Now I want to know what you think. Who's right here? Team Glo or Team Scarface? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe, because when this pops off again, and it will, you're gonna want to know first. This your boy, keeping it 100, no cap. Peace.